So tonight is going to be Loyalty 2.0. I was just asked why, why is this series happening? Like, what's the point? The point is because it's conversation nobody having. We keep getting these images and what's happening at the end, but there's no conversation about how to get to that. If it's real. I like sustainable. As I said before, I'm trying to do things where, my great grandkids eat off my hustle. Legit. Like legacy items. So it's critical to make sure that you're aligned. And it's not just in your personal interactions, it's professional, what you allow to happen, all of it. It'll really help keep you focused so that you can get to your end game. And this is not, I'm not at my end game. This ain't it. So it's exciting to know that, I still have a lot to accomplish. Keep me inspired, keeps me motivated. But motivation comes in the form of clarity of what, like why do you care? You know what I'm saying? Why does it matter to you if I make it? Because there's people, that I've assisted over the years just because I wanted to see them make it for one reason or another. And to keep it totally kosher with you, I knew I wasn't going to be around to reap the benefit or see any of the fruit of the labor, none of that. It just was what it was. So what's your why? Why are you doing it? I took notes so we could be clear tonight, y'all. What's your pressure points? Because if you don't have an understanding of your brand and what you're willing to tolerate, or it's kind of in and out, how you allow people to interact with you, how they can engage with you, it's hit or miss. And knowing if it's a miss, there's something to step away from the table. No turbulence, no war required. You're stepping away. We're going to do that, And I think what I'm noticing is probably why people usually can't step away is because I think stepping away kind of like equal, I lost or something. Like, it's defeat. Defeat to me means that I made it, without breaking a motherfucking sweat. And if I could not expel no resources, I did amazing. Lesson learned, noted, moving along. Not a big deal. But you got to really be cognizant of why you're doing things, the reasoning behind it, why you allow it to occur. Is it aligned with what your brand states? And there's another thing too. And this isn't really necessarily loyalty related, but it applies to consistency. Don't do shit expecting nothing. I mean, for real. Because it'll put you in a bad headspace, bitter, all of the above. I mean, you got to do stuff because this is what you feel like you want to do and you feel like it's right. But don't do it because you expect anything. That's how, like, the other scenario I just said where I was like, I was doing things and I knew I wasn't going to see. It wasn't for that. It wasn't for that. And I'm kind of like of the kind where I think that when you do things positive, it bubble back to you. And usually it's not going to be from, the place that it came. Like, where you put it in is usually not where you're going to get it out. Like, it'll be somebody else that invests in you in that passion. But you can't invest in nobody if you're not clear on your own mission. And when I tell you, like, your mission should be like 30 seconds, that you can do. These are things non-negotiable with me. That's what I'm about. You should be, it's like an elevator pitch immediately. And then you know who can integrate with your brand. You know? You know what you can tolerate. You know your pressure points. You're clear on that. Motivation, you're clear. Because you know that you're aligned. Oh, look at that belly. Because you know that you're aligned, you know that you have the endurance to make it through. You know, loyalty is difficult. Not difficult as far as what to do at what point. The fact that you consistently do it, it's not touch and go. So, you know, having a mastery of oneself will help you readily apply. What I'm speaking to you on is blueprints. Because all this shit apply to anything. Take it, use it, tweak it, twerk it, and apply it to you in your situations. And you never come up short. You just not. In the end game, what's the purpose? I personally have a clear understanding of how to integrate myself with others and be of assistance and not allow it to absorb me. Took a lot of finesse, a lot of years, a lot of smacking my head, getting back up, doing it again different, until I found how I could be able to adequately support those that I care about that are around me without being overly absorbed into their, you know, ambitions, what have you. Don't lose yourself. You know, people feel like loyalty means everything for me go out the window. Opposite. Loyalty means being able to stay focused, being able to support others while maintaining yours. And that's why it's critical that you align with people that are at a point that you're able to cope with. You know? Being with people personally with nothing. Not the basics. You know? And by the time the bubble up happened, I was yeah, I didn't feel no way about it. You know? It comes back around. Don't ask me when. I'm not Cleo, Miss Cleo. Not Miss Cleo, but it'll circle back around. Like a boomerang.